Thank you for joining me again today. I really hope that these hymns are encouraging you and are helping you along in these difficult days where we're kind of isolated from each other. I know that it's doing a lot for me to keep me from being a little bit crazy in my own head and worrying and spiraling out of control, wondering what's going to go on in the world next. So I appreciate you tuning in and helping me out a little bit as well. Tonight's song is In the Garden. This song is my mother's favorite, so this one is for her tonight. It's the one that anytime she had an opportunity to influence what I would sing, this is the one she would insist that I would sing. She'd say, "Sing in the garden, in the garden." And it's very appropriate because my mother is a fantastic gardener. Everybody that knows her knows that her vegetable garden is the one of envy on the ridge, and her flower garden is the envy of the ridge, and she has a whole room dedicated to plants. And me, her daughter, brown thumbs, can't grow anything. I planted 3 things outside, and like 2 are already dead, so I did not come by that from her at all. But she's a fantastic gardener, and it's just a place where when she's in the garden, she just has this incredible peace and just loves working with the dirt and all that entails. But the song In the Garden was written by C. Austin Miles, who was a man who studied pharmacy in Philadelphia, but then became a song publisher and writer instead. And he was an avid photographer, and the story goes that he was in his darkroom developing his prints as usual, meditating on the Word of God as was his habit, when he was reflecting on John 20 and the story of Mary Magdalene there at Jesus' tomb on Easter morning. And as she was crying and she's talking to this man who's in this garden, saying, "Oh, where have they taken him? If you know, please let me know." And he says her name, and she recognizes his voice, and she cries out to him, "Rabboni!" And it's just this wonderful scene, and he was reflecting on that scene and sort of placing himself in that garden on that morning and embellishing it a little bit and thinking of what that experience must have been like. And from that, he wrote this song. Now, I learned as I was researching this that it is a little bit controversial. The purists would say that this does not belong in corporate worship, that it is something that doesn't really have strong biblical foundations. And so as such, I remind you, we are not in corporate worship, and it's still a beautiful song. It just really kind of characterizes the sweetness of that relationship that we have with the Lord. That, you know, when you think about Mary, she thought she thought he was dead, and his body was gone, and she couldn't even like grieve his body and do the rituals that she came to do that morning, and just distraught. And here he is, and he appears, just this great joy that she was overcome with. And it reminds me, as I think about it, the text, and he walks with me, and he talks with me, and he tells me that I'm his own, and this joy that we share. And it reminds me that I'm not alone. And so even if you're at home all by yourself right now, isolating from everybody, you're not alone. And that's one of the things that I love about this song in this particular moment in time. And in all moments of time, it reminds me that it's a process. It is a walk. It is a walk with the Lord, and it is a walk up hills and down valleys and through ravines and across deserts and along the ocean and all over. And but one thing I would quibble with in the words is, he walks with me, and really we should be walking with him. So just keep that in mind, and that you're not alone.